A few weeks ago, I was invited by Brandon to come down and compete on the Texas Plinking 1 MOA 1,000 yard challenge. And I'm going to tell you all about it, and I'm also going to tell you the easiest way to get a hold of Brandon if you want to sign up to be on the show. Because I'm going to tell you, talking to him, he gets a ton of messages and emails, and he's not going to be able to respond to even a fraction. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. But first, I want to tell you all about this experience because I ended up taking my 375 ShyTac. I was going to take my 33XC. I just couldn't get it performing 110%. It was like 50%, honestly. I've done a little work to it. I've got it shooting better now, but at the time where I had a couple of weeks to prepare, I'm looking at this rifle going, there's no way I'm going to be able to take this down there. I'm going to get embarrassed by a 6-dasher or something, you know? So I was also thinking, okay, well, the 33 doesn't want to perform. I'll take the 416. So what I did, I went to the range and I practiced. The 416 wasn't shooting either. And I honestly, now at this point, after shooting in France, King of 2 miles in France, I think the 416's toast. So I pulled the ShyTac out from last season, and I didn't have the ShyTac really hammering either. I wanted to shoot it at King of 2 miles last year, the US King of 2 miles, and I couldn't get it hammering. So I just been in a slump, but so that's why I shot the 416 at King of 2 miles last year. But I pulled the ShyTac out, started tweaking on it, started messing with it, shooting in my backyard, shooting it in my range. It's right over here. And I got it shooting really good. And I'm like, okay, we're just gonna take the ShyTac to Texas. I did some quick load development, and then I realized I took to the range one time, practiced one time at the range, and I did buy some plates. I bought a 10-inch plate and a 5-inch plate. I practiced literally one time with the ShyTac, and it didn't go that great, but I did make impact on both targets. But actually, no, that impact on the bottom of the 5-inch plate actually was from my 33XC. I never impacted when I practiced the 5-inch target at my range. I did hit the 10-inch target, and I thought, well, good enough, but I had to hold like 0.4 under because they were going so fast. So I loaded him down, I loaded him slow, I loaded him to like 2960 so that I could actually be under and actually dial up if I needed to. I didn't get a chance to even practice that at the range at all. So yeah, it was kind of shady going into the whole thing. I was actually honestly pretty nervous going into it because I thought, dude, if I go out there and down there on Texas Plinking at Brandon's challenge, it's run what you brung and hope you brung enough. So I've seen everything from 223 to 50 BMG out there, a lot of Creedmoor, stuff like that, 308s and stuff. So I didn't know what I was going to be up against. I had no idea. I didn't know if maybe he put together a collection of bigger guns because he knew I shoot bigger guns because we'd been messaging each other back and forth, and I didn't know what to expect. And I'm thinking to myself, like the whole drive down there, I'm honestly nervous. I was more nervous than shooting a match, and I thought, if I go down there and get beat by a dasher, dude, the bros are gonna laugh at me. I mean, especially the ELR crew. They're gonna be like, seriously, Ryan? Like, that happened, you know? And I thought, there was a lot on the line to me mentally, like thinking, like, if I go down there and blow this thing in front of 1.15 million subscribers, dude, Ryan Cheney, it'd probably go viral just because I blew the thing, whatever. And I had some concerns, honestly, about competing with such a large caliber because there's two major things about shooting a large caliber at that distance. The flight time is only 1.1 seconds. And you have to manage recoil, get back on target instantly to be able to see where it goes. There's no spotter, at this challenge. So in ELR, you have a spotter, tells you where it goes. A lot of guys, you see them shoot and come off the rifle. Well, you always see me stay on the rifle because it's always better to spot your stuff, with your spotter. But I'm thinking to myself, like, with 1.1 seconds of flight time, and the splash sometimes when you miss is so big that it's hard to even see where it originates from. So when your splash is 0.3 wide and your plate's 0.3 wide, it's kind of hard to actually tell where it came from that instant that you're back on target. So yeah, it was interesting. It was tough. It was honestly, I did better than I did at my own home range. The Mirage at my home range it was quite a bit more. We shot early enough in the day that it was actually pretty decent. The visual clarity was decent. You know, through the optics was decent. And overall, I felt pretty good about the whole thing. And I had fun, and everybody down there was great. Everybody there, we had a great time. I thought at first when I met the guys that nobody knew who I was, and then one of the guys came over to me and asked me questions about one of my videos, and I'm like, oh boy, they actually do know who I am, and I thought that was kind of funny. I brought bags for everyone. Gave in-game bags to Brandon, I gave one to him and then one to each competitor. So they were pretty stoked to have that. And one of the guys told me, he's like, actually, I was looking at your bags here recently, and selfishly, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it. So it was cool. Took the whole family down. We had a great time. Overall, it was a great experience, and I'd like to go down there again and actually shoot my 33XC. I've got it shooting a lot better now, so, which is good because King of 1 Mile is next month. So anyway, about getting a hold of Brandon, the best way to get a hold of him: become a Patreon subscriber of his, send him a message through Patreon. He checks them like once a month. So if he doesn't get right back to you, just wait a little longer, because the dude is super busy. And don't try to send him an email, nothing like that. He's not gonna see it. He's got way too much going on. Patreon, #1. That's how I did it. I subscribed. I've been subscribing to his channel for a long time. I've been following it for a long time. I've been talking to him for over a year about getting down there. So be patient. You know, he's got 1 million subscribers and he's only bringing on 5 people a month. Also, what I'm going to do is it just went live to the Patreon subscribers. It goes live Sunday to everyone else on YouTube. I'm going to do a voiceover. I got my ballistic data, my lab radar, all that stuff from each shot. I'm going to break down each shot, what I was doing, what was going through my head, what I was seeing in the reticle, what I was doing. So I'm going to pause this, do a voiceover, and since I'm not going to have any video for that, because what I want you to do is get on a PC, overlay episode 28. Don't know exactly what time it's going to be yet. I know my portion starts at around 22:30, but we had some where we were talking about the rifle for a little while in there. I will tell you the exact information right after this. Pull up 2 windows, episode 28 of the Texas Plinking MOA Challenge and my video, and I'm going to do a voiceover where you just mute the Texas Plinking after you've watched it a couple of times, and then I'm going to tell you, just break the whole thing down and what all was going on. So thanks guys for following along with me. Thanks for subscribing, and you know where to find me if you need anything. RyanCheneyELR.com. Thanks for all the support. Like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff with your friends, and just wait until you see when I hit the 5-inch target. Oh yeah, baby. Later. Okay, so what you need to do is open up a second window, and at 29:07 on the Texas Plinking video is when I start to shoot. So mute that and then hit play right now. Alright, so that first shot, you'll notice is just off the right edge. My cold bore shot's always a little slow on this rifle, so I was actually dialed up 0.3. I come up 0.1 right there, and I came left 0.3 more instead of holding, and then my next shot went 2964 feet per second, and it was level with the top of the plate and left, basically kind of where I dialed. So now I went back to the right, and I think I take that extra 10th out. Yep, there it is. So now I'm back to 0, and this shot was impact, and actually it's still a little bit high on the plate. I would true that up a little bit, so if I could in my Kestrel. So now I go down to the lower left plate, and this next shot is 2967 feet per second, and I'm coming back to the left again. I did a mirror shot here. You notice I didn't dial, and where did it go? Right where I was holding. I'm like, that's odd. Okay, 2966, 2974, and so if I finally dial it out, I'm like, alright, fine, I'm just going to dial it out and hold right back on the plate again. This one's 2964. Right under it. So now I'm trying to move it as fast as I can. This one goes a little fast at 2976. I'm holding the top of the plate, and it finally impacts. You know, I'm just not used to shooting targets that small, and with no practice on that size of plate. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But you know, overall, I feel like I did pretty good and had fun, and it was a good time. He's got a really cool range. So, thanks guys for following along, and we'll see y'all soon.